All right, I got my microphone issue resolved, I guess. I'm using my internal mic, but anyway, that's obsolete. I have a presentation today. This is part two, leading off or picking up off of where I left off as far as my previous appearance. As far as Angkor Wat, okay, I have some new discoveries, some revelations that nobody else on Earth has pointed out, and I say that factually because it's dealing with my own work and my own discovery, my own thing that I've been building. Um, who I'll be featuring today, needing to feature as a brother from India / Cambodia, one of the two, and his name is Praveen Mohan, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And I'll be showcasing one of his videos today and letting that be seen. What I'm about to do is play one of his videos so that people can get the gist of what I'm saying, and I won't be interrupted, and then I'll come back and I'll let people hear my points of view on it. I'm doing that just for the sake of the people who don't like people who pause videos and interrupt, and they want to hear something straight through. So I'll let y'all hear it straight through, and then I'll play it back and point out what I need to point out. So I'll go ahead and show this and proceed.
Lingams of Angkor Wat temple. Nobody has posted this information anywhere. This is not on YouTube. This is not even in any book. These lingams have never been observed before. When you walk around these passages in Angkor Wat, they have a lot of Buddha statues placed all around. Some Buddhas are huge, and some Buddhas are small, and some of them have even been destroyed. And it is said that a total of 108 Buddhas were placed originally all around like this in this temple. But this is strange because Hindu temple, and 108 is a sacred number of Hindus. So why would the original builders place 108 Buddha statues here? Let's examine this mystery. And here you can see this Buddha statue. Its head is broken. Now, the Buddha is already seated on a naga, a snake, and he's placed on a pedestal or a base. To a casual observer, there is nothing wrong, but something is very weird about the base. It does not fit the Buddha at all. You can see that the base is square, and there is a groove, an outlet for the water. This is the base of a lingam, and this groove is for the water to flow. I have shown you a lot of lingams like this and how they have these spouts or outlets for water. And look, the Buddha statue is completely separate, and it's not even seated on the base properly. So where is the lingam? Where is the cylindrical part that once sat on this base?
If you only list your vacation home on Airbnb, you might attract someone looking for a quaint little studio.
Believe it or not, it's sitting right here. You can see a part of the broken cylinder. This was the lingam which originally stood on the base. And here's another Buddha. This Buddha is much smaller than the base. And you can see the full base of the lingam here, how a lingam would have been originally placed. Maybe this is true only for small Buddha statues. What about the giant Buddha statues placed in Angkor Wat? Look at this one. This Buddha is more than 8 feet tall, has a huge 7-headed Naga guarding him while he is in deep meditation. This is just a fantastic statue that even as a visitor, you want to pay respect to this Buddha. But look at the base. It's obvious that it's not at all a part of the Buddha statue. And you can see this rectangular groove for water outlet. There was originally a lingam here. And when civilizations changed, the lingams were destroyed and these Buddha statues were placed on top of them. I have examined at least a dozen of these Buddhas, and it's a very interesting modification to watch. When the temple was taken over by a different religion, they just removed the cylinders, but they kept the bases and placed the newer Buddhas on top of these bases. This is not a very well-engineered modification. In almost all cases, the bases look completely different than the Buddhas. Okay, so you have now seen the 108 lingams inside Angkor Wat temple, but these are not the lingams I wanted to show you. I want to show you the secret lingams that have been hiding underground for many centuries. In 2015, researchers used laser scanning equipment called LiDAR attached to low-flying helicopters and scanned the Angkor Wat area. And they were shocked to find a large field full of cylindrical projections hidden all around the temple complex. Archaeologists are calling them domes because they are cylindrical structures with nice smooth tops. These are obviously lingams. But it's not just the buried lingams that have stunned scientists. It's the sheer volume of them. They have found vast fields full of these lingams arranged in grid-like fashion, forming a large matrix. Experts confirm that these ancient structures were built around the same time as the Angkor Wat temple. Why were hundreds of these lingams built all around Angkor Wat temple complex? Why did ancient builders build such a large number of lingams both inside and outside the temple walls? These lingams are debunking all mainstream theories. Experts have always argued that there's nothing special about lingams. They're just statues people built, hoping the others will come and worship these lingams and give donations. But these lingams found by LiDAR technology is proving this wrong. If lingams were built only for worship and donations, why would they make these hundreds of lingams in a grid-like fashion and place them outside the walls of Angkor Wat? These lingams must have been used for a specific reason. It's been 5 years since this lingam grid has been discovered, but even today, experts say that the purpose of them is unknown, and they've called this the most enigmatic feature of ancient Cambodia. But we know what will eventually happen. They will claim that these were just random earthen mounds created for religious reasons. We cannot expect any other outcome from mainstream theorists. But what if I told you each of this lingam in the dome field was not only planned carefully and constructed with accuracy and precision, but also was absolutely necessary for the construction of Angkor Wat. These secret
I'm excited. I got a package from Human.
This is Live Humans product. Super Beats, circulation superfood that supports health.
secret lingams were a part of the blueprint of Angkor Wat temple. Wait, did I just say blueprint of Angkor Wat? Where is that blueprint now? It's on top of a mountain called Phnom Kulen, about 50 kilometers away from Angkor Wat. Here you can see a square in the middle, and inside that square, you can see 5 lingams or domes. Now compare this with the 5 domes of Angkor Wat. There's 1 in the center and 4 around the central dome, exactly the same layout. Not only that, the square is not complete. It has a narrow extension reaching out. This is the causeway that connects the main temple with the outside area. And you can see the moat in the blueprint. It's a large strip between the inside and the outside. There's no doubt that this is the blueprint of Angkor Wat. But all these details are not important. The most important part is the vast lingam grid carved around the temple. It clearly lays out that there were hundreds of domes carved all around it like a matrix, and they must have been an integral part of Angkor Wat, because otherwise they would not have been carved here. I had visited this blueprint back in January, and I already observed these carvings and recorded my observations at that time. Let's take a look at that. There are 5 small lingams set up in the middle, and around it there's like a rectangular groove coming out. We're going to have to decode this. Why did ancient builders create these amazing carvings underwater 1,000 years ago? People will say this is simply for religious purposes, but there must be a scientific reason behind this, and we need to find out why they did it. But at that time, I did not read the LiDAR report, so I did not have an answer for these lingam grids. Now, LiDAR technology reveals that this entire place was a small-scale model of Angkor Wat, accurately filled with these lingams, and it's not just lingams. In some places, there are just holes, not protrusions. They are negative lingams or inverse lingams. Today, LiDAR technology is revealing the same pattern. There are these giant domes, but there are also depressions in some places. What were they doing with these lingams? Why were they created as an integral part of the temple? Today, we think this is the Angkor Wat temple, and this is just the woods and the new city built around it. This is not true. There are hundreds of lingams placed carefully all around the structure we see today. These lingams were an integral part of the ancient temple, and we can understand that from the blueprint of Angkor Wat. But why did the ancient builders have to go 50 kilometers from the location of Angkor Wat and carve the blueprint there on top of this mountain? Because this is the place where ancient builders planned, blueprinted, and decided to build Angkor Wat. Archaeologists confirm that the stones, the millions of sandstone blocks used in Angkor Wat, are originally from here. They were cut and transported from this very mountain. Today, this mountain is called Phnom Kulen, but the original name of this mountain was Sahasralinga, meaning the land of 1,000 lingams. And this mountain has several areas where the entire riverbed is completely covered with these mysterious lingam grids. Here you can again see another blueprint of Angkor Wat, a square within a square connected by a causeway. And look carefully, again, completely surrounded by these vast lingams spreading everywhere. I have shown you underwater footage of these lingam grids before. Okay, so I have finally shown you all the forgotten lingams, both inside and outside the temple walls. But the real question is, why? What were the ancient builders doing with these lingams? Why did they want to build all these lingams in a grid-like fashion all around the Angkor Wat temple? Perhaps the real answer can be found if we find the 8 lingams submerged in the middle, deep in the water of this moat of Angkor Wat temple. I hope you guys like this video. I am Praveen Mohan. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and also click on the bell button, get all the updates. Please give it a thumbs up and do share it with your friends. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.
All right. So now is my turn for me to show my stuff. I hope that was I know it was informative. I know if it was for me, it will be for others. To the comments, show me the truth. What's good, bro? What's good back at you, man? Don't know if that's still you watching, but yeah, what's good to you? So now what I'm about to show is what I have to show as far as the advancement of my discoveries and the linkage with this. Now, last time I'll start off with what I showed the previous, and I'm pulling on my drive as we speak. All right. I'll go to the most recent one that I used first and start off from that because I never did the overlay at first. Okay. I really hate that this is going so slow. Come on with the recents, man. Come on. I can't stand all that twirling and stuff. Give a brother a break, please. Come on, man. Golly, dude. Anyway, it's up here. Thank God. Now, the name, if you pay attention to the title of the video, was 108 lingams found in ancient, it's something along the ancient energy grid. And he just basically showed that the evidence of the, the radiation, the thermal radiation, whatever they call electromagnetic detection device, like a FLIR camera, that showed the grid in these underground lingams. They even showed some that were underwater. And a lingam is basically a spinning device, a perpetual spinning device that creates that they are saying creates energy. Now, if people can think about where it's been mentioned that Angkor Wat means harness energy and everything like that, I'm not going against that. But in this actuality, what anchor means, if you really want to go to the core of it, pay attention to my wording, Angkor. So the core of something is the center of something. That's why you see this picture right here. That's literally the core of my work. Okay. Angkor. If you look into the actual and not what other people make their own conclusions on as far as what the terminology Angkor Wat means, look into what the actual culture, the people from there actually say it is. It means the capital city. And Wat, I'm vaguely remembering what that means. But I know that anchor, that to them and their culture, which is what matters in the first place, it means the capital. The capital of anything is the center of something. Okay, it's the center. Whether geographic or energy wise, it's the center of something, the capital, the top. Just like you see the state capitals. When we see our state capitals, guess what? Most of them look just like that. I know that from where I'm from, mine does. It looks very much like those domes that they're talking about. Come to even think about that. So it makes a lot of sense, the capital. And matter of fact, that might even say something about the capitals that we do have. Since these people mimic the people of ancient cultures, they probably are running off of an energy grid similar to Angkor Wat. And by the time we go on one day, we might, see and hear about these. Anyway, but just to advance on, what we see right here is Angkor Wat from a top view. I'm just relaying and showing, picking up where I left off and showing exactly what we have here. Like I said in the previous show, even my grandmother, if she could see it, any man with eyes to see who negates exactly what I'm saying and says this is just a coincidence, you're tripping. Because I got further pointers to show exactly what I'm saying that I didn't even realize upon looking. As you can see, he mentioned that there are 4 on the corners, and then there's 1 in the center. 4 plus 1 equals 5. I have always told people that 4 plus 1 equals 5. 5 minus 1 equals 4. That's why you see 5 and 4 right here in the center. I also told y'all that people really aren't taking into account the fact that this work that you see me created, that all came from my mind, directly from the creator, the source, ancestors that helped, that I didn't even talk to directly. But, this all came from me. I had to visualize this ahead before I created this, man. And I just don't see how people ain't amazed by what I'm showing. It's amazing. It's amazing to me that people ain't amazed by this point, because I've told people that I have discovered the true energy grid of the earth. If the earth is not a globe, as people say, then that means that the ley lines that even flat earthers talk about ain't real ley lines. So where are the real ley lines? No flat earther has put in work and done it. But I don't hear anybody saying PR Corey has discovered the ley lines for the flat earth. Y'all need to, you see what I'm saying? That's amazing. I'm showing the evidence of it, and I'll proceed and show that. Now, like I said, you got a center, and then you got 4 corners. These are your 4 corners right here. And if you pay attention to the geometry, if you outline this right here and outline this right here, you're going to get the exact same shape. And you know how I know that? Because I set the thing on top of it. I actually did a superimpose on top of it. And that's where I'll go ahead and move on to the next slider. I did a superimpose on top of it. What should I do? Now, like I said, I'm gonna go to this first, actually. Okay. I just said that there's 4 in the center and there's 1 in the center and 4 corners that surround that in a square fashion, just like you just saw my work showing right there. But upon Angkor Wat's original creation, when it was first made, the temple, there's also 4, I don't want to say stupas, but like he called them out of respects, lingams. There's 4 lingams outside of these 5 that were just mentioned in the center. I've told y'all that 4 equals foundation, 5 equals fire. It's the erecting point, the 5, not phi. We're not talking about phi. Now, the Fibonacci sequence is extremely relevant within, it was used in the building of Angkor Wat. It was really very known within Hindu culture, the 5-point star, all of that, the golden ratio. Okay. And at the end of the day, I've already shown where those same numbers, as far as the angles, I've shown y'all how either way it goes, if you talk about the golden ratio with the 5-point star, pay attention to because I shouldn't have to go back through my old work just to show people. And if you pay attention and people really were into the work just like they were into other places, then you will comprehend every single thing, and you will know and realize I don't have to show and prove over and over again. I've proven anything probably more than anybody here on YouTube when it comes to flat earth and real ancient cosmology based on mathematics. And I'm not even mathematics, because with mathematics, you're talking equations, man-made equations. I don't even work with equations. I'm giving people the gutter core truth. And what I'm saying is there are 4 on the outside, which is the foundation 4, F-O-U, foundation, F-O-U, R4, foundation 4. That's the foundation that's on the ground. Then you have an uplifted 5. Those are 9 altogether. That's the number 9 right there in front of people's face. This can't be got around. Now, when you look around, when you look at actual pictures, this is a drawing of what it looked like. But I pointed out in the previous video that it looked like, and I couldn't confirm because I couldn't get up close enough pictures, that these ones that are on the outside look like they had been broken or knocked off for whatever reason. And the center ones stayed in relatively good condition and didn't have the same happen to them. But all of these on the outside for the foundation, it's like they're half of them, like they've been knocked off. Like half of it, the top has been knocked off. And even one of them, they got like this tent thing around it as if they're trying to preserve it or restoring it or something like that, which would make sense. So this is 4 and 5 right here in front of people's face. That's 4 and 5, literally. Now that's a drawing, but for the people who cannot just take bare facts as they are, here's an above ground view of Angkor Wat, satellite bird's eye view. And it'll show those other 4 lingams. Please. Thanks. Zoom, 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 zoom. Now, it's very hard to see because it didn't zoom in as far as I wanted to. But if you pay attention to my cursor right here, the mouse, you can see these 4 on the outside. 1, 2, 3, 3, and 4 in a rectangular shape. I mentioned last time that this side over here is square and this side over here is square. This side over here is rectangular And I said that it might be a Fibonacci type of square. It just doesn't, I can't confirm it because Fibonacci squares, in my opinion, based on eyeing it, they're a little bit more narrow and longer. I might be wrong, and that might actually be it. But one thing I do know, upon me superimposing my work, I came to a realization. I'm looking to see if there's any better pictures of that. Of Angkor Wat. It's not. So I'll go straight to the superimposing. Now, I want people to realize as well, need people to realize that the whole meaning of Angkor Wat, as far as it being set up like it was, I've mentioned in the past that my work, it looks very much like the center of Mount Meru, but people ain't going crazy. Mount Meru / this map that Mercator created. It looks exactly like the center of that. And while flat earthers are talking about this map and everything, one thing that they're not realizing is that every ancient culture, when you really look into this whole flat earth talk, what's not being mentioned is that the ground was square. And most of these cultures' depictions of the flat earth. That's what y'all aren't getting. Why do you even think that what was circle was the heavens, which is what you can observe, and you can see that those are circling above you, just like the compasses circle above. The sun and the moon circle above every single day, just like a compass in a spiral in motion, endlessly. The ground is square, standing on a square. That's why the fractal of everything is measured in square footage. You don't use circles to measure area around it. You don't do that. There's a reason why we use squares in order to measure area. You could use anything. Any shape has an area, but we use squares for a reason. This is a fact. So what I'm getting at with flat earthers who just coin themselves as that, I've been telling y'all that y'all look up at the sky and y'all just sum it down to that being a dome up there, a round dome. And you know why y'all round it out? The main reason that y'all round it out is because y'all have this great mother concept that y'all been talking about. That's the main reason behind it, the womb concept. But the thing is that y'all not realizing, if you were open-minded at least, you would realize that if you were under a pyramid of stars / like a tree, think about Christmas, buddy. Think about Christmas. If you realize that you were under a tree of stars / a pyramid shape that spins above, just like many of these Christmas trees do, you'll realize that you could be under a pyramid and maybe it might not be a dome. None of us have been up there. I'm not confirming it, that is a pyramid that we are under. Well, in a way I am. I'm not going to shortcut myself there. But what I am doing, I'm not concluding that it's a pyramid because I ain't been up there myself. But what I am doing is showing the work of figuring it out. If we live in a fractal system and everything is fractal, you have to comprehend this. How many of you know what an octahedron is? Anybody can look it up. Y'all say that all of these pyramids had an underground pyramid under them. Do you know what shape that makes? A reflective pyramid under a pyramid that's above the ground is called an octahedron. Okay? 360 divided by 8 equals what? 45. Every pyramid that you get on top of is going to be 45 degrees on top of it, separated into 45 degrees. This is not just for no reason. Your compass is separated into 45 degrees. What do you see? The Masonic square and what? Compass. What did I tell y'all? The Masonic checkerboard floor that y'all always bring up. What does the Masonic what the checkerboard floor, what the checkerboard floor mean? What the checkerboard floor? Y'all always do that. It's 45 degrees. It's right there in front of y'all face. It's right there, and ain't nobody pointed that out. I'm the only and first person to do that. That's not a Freemason. Even they don't say that. And they know they can't argue against it. It's right there. So you got two compasses separated like legs that artists / architects, the great architect of the universe, you spin that in a circle, just like you see here. Just like you see circles on the Nazca lines. And you have a ground that is square. And that's why these ancient ancestors built their work on a square and not on the circle. They utilize circles because circles are something. That's one of them, circle and square. That's the, when you draw as an artist, even, that's the main things that you use is circles and squares in order to map out something, to build. This is why drawing is so important. People who know how to, draw. And some people be so jealous that, if you ain't teaching them how to draw, they feel some type of way because they feel like you harnessing some knowledge only for yourself and being jealous. Instead of them just accepting the fact that you're great at what you do. You got to appreciate somebody before you can be taught something. I ain't just throwing it up in nobody's face like other people that I'm the master of this. I'm the greatest at this. I'm the greatest at that. I'm showing y'all I'm the only one and I'm the first to ever do this. And ain't nobody besides the ancestors that could have known this. But creating this on paper like this and drawing this out exactly how I'm drawing out, I'm the first to do it. Now, this is the grid that he just showed that I snapshotted from that. Y'all saw how the lingams were set up into a grid. Now, what you need to pay attention to is the length of this over here. How many squares do you see this separated into? You see that separated into 9 squares. And it's really not congruent over here. It's for, well, right here, that's a square. If you go from here, measure from here to the very farthest over here, that does make a square. Okay. So some of their measurements it looked like it's kind of off. You can only imagine that you got to have some type of leniency because they were on the ground. But for the most part, it's pretty amazing because this is a very vast, this water right here is kilometers long, like one and some change kilometers long. That's very long, bro. That's over 1,000 meters. And you see 9 over here. If you count these over here, you got what would be 1, 2, 3, 4 squares by 3. So you got 9 over here, 9 over here, 12 over here, 12 over here. That's 24 and 18. Okay. 24 and 18. That's 42. All right. That's just the amount of squares that you see right there within that grid. But upon me overlaying my work on it, this is what I realized. Now, I just said and showed how they have 4 lingams on the outside and 5 lingams on the center. I just showed that. That's 4 and 5. Nobody can argue against that. And there are no more there that are domes. If that's not significant to anybody, I don't get it. And then they have 9 levels. Not to mention, if you count the levels of them, they have 9 levels. It's not just for no reason, man. Now, I laid this on top of it, just like y'all saw the superimpose last time. This is part of why I didn't do the superimpose the first time, because I can't, fade it in and out so that people can see the Nazca, not Nazca, but Angkor Wat underneath this. But pay attention to this. I flipped this up here because, as you know, my stuff is broken up into sections. So instead of me just taking the exact number 1 and, having to put everything together, take a picture and do all of that, I just took the number 8, which was the same color. All of it is the same exact metrics and fractal code. So it's just like a puzzle. You put it together and either way it go, whether the same number or not, it's still going to be the same exact metrics. Now, as you can see over here, this is the square side. You see that the rectangular, this is flipped from the other way horizontally, like you just saw it last time. Now you see the rectangular side over here on this side, the side that I was talking about, the Fibonacci possible rectangle is on the right side. Now the squares is over here. So if you pay attention to this, this right here goes straight that way. All right, 45 degrees, just like this is a square. So that's easy for somebody to map out and see. There's your lingams right there. Right here, I mean, in the center, those are the lingams. But the key is, look at this. This is the exact same, I mean, and I can scroll down here. It's the exact same. This is the energy grid that they said that they just mapped out. I told y'all that I discovered the real energy grid of the earth. I told y'all that. I didn't even have to go this far in order for y'all to, if you couldn't comprehend what I've been telling y'all and showing y'all up to this point, and it took me to show you this and as so-called proof of the energy grid, that's showing how smart you are. And I'm not calling you dumb. But for me to already have picked up on it and know what I'm doing, telling y'all already, man, that should let y'all know as well and reflect to y'all how freaking smart I am. You see what I'm doing, man, it ain't no luck. There's no luck that came with this. And anybody who thinks that, they short wired and they got a wire loose in their head. I just told y'all I had to meticulously, immaculately. I mean, if I would have switched up one thing, people don't realize if I would have switched up one thing, it would all be messed up. This 1 and 0 being pulled, this is literally showing the animation, the movement, magnetism. I just watched another video from this brother where he was talking about, and he showed the center of, he does, I mean, super deep research. He showed the center of the temple. He went inside of the temple, of Angkor Wat temple, and showed the center that even your flat earthers out here ain't, going that deep and showing that. They can't go there, of course, but what they can do is tell you things like Angkor Wat means harness energy, pull down energy. They can't tell you that. And like I just said, I'm not going against that. But people are really thrilled when they hear just those words. They hear those words, but what about the person who's showing you the proof? The people giving the words, man, ain't nothing compared to somebody showing the proof. Nobody has to come up here and show slides to entertain people, because entertainment is our problem anyway, folks. I'm not here to entertain, man. Y'all don't see how hard I'm working, how great my work even is. And that's why I told y'all it's worth millions for somebody to have discovered this. That's why I told y'all. Now think about this and how big the earth really is. You see, being that this is a fractal system, this is one big old one. Like I said, once you know the directions and you know north, you can figure out what number this really is supposed to be in the first place relative to the North Pole. You could find out exactly where this is, and then you can map out everything else. It'll lead you to the Great Pyramids. It'll lead you to the Nazca lines. And guess what? If the earth is flat, it's going to lead you to the outer, whatever the heck y'all think it is, if it is infinite. But what I am showing y'all, geometry means earth measurement. Literally, geo means earth, metrics means measurement. I'm not going to give look, it's so deep in my life as far as y'all have heard me make presentations showing y'all about how it's similarities with me, and I'm not saying that I'm Jesus at all. Very much similarities between the two. I don't know what people's problem. I just saw a video actually, and I'm going everywhere right now because my mind just be going crazy, bro. It be going crazy when I get, because it's amazing to me. And I don't see how nobody else is amazed, bro. I'm not going to beg for anybody to be amazed, bro. But all I know is it's only going to show other people how fake they are if they even show amazement after some type of worldly progress, materialistic progress, traveling, money, all of that stuff comes. If it takes that for you to start showing respect and paying homage to the realest dude who ever did this stuff, I don't need you around me anyway. That's why I don't be on here like that, because I don't have time for folks. I be in people chat just to show them that you ain't what you think you is. You ain't the end all be all. And they got to block me because they already know what's up. They don't come at me like other people. They say they need to have respect put on their name. Well, y'all, like I was just saying, I saw where one dude was just getting talked about. I ain't going to even mention the name. But I ask of y'all all the time what y'all problem is with me. Why y'all don't show support over here like y'all show to other people? And can't nobody give me an answer. Everybody is mute. That speaks enough. It's either one of the two. And I doubt that it's the first one I'm about to say. It's either y'all pussy to admit it or say whatever the problem is, or you just hating. I doubt it's the first one. Because everyone that I follow, I don't sense no pussy in none of y'all. Y'all will get buck with everybody else on YouTube. Y'all voice y'all problems with everybody else on YouTube. All y'all want to do is ignore me. And you can't even have the decency or the balls to tell me why. When I'm showing how great this is. Do you know how impactful this is for somebody to have discovered the ley lines of the earth? I even said that the Nazca lines had it. I told y'all that. Now think about the New Jerusalem. This guy, actually, it's so much work. I mean, it's so much stuff I wish I could do. I wish I could go to this ancient aliens thing that they've been talking about. I just talked about aliens recently. Look, this New Jerusalem thing that's being talked about, or not being talked about, but has been conveyed. Hold on, excuse me. This New Jerusalem thing, I showed that the Nazca lines, based on the article created by Doug Kriegler in 2011, I think, if I got my dates right, he mentioned the New Jerusalem. Well, the ancient aliens, for whatever reason, there's another man who they mentioned New Jerusalem. If you know about the New Jerusalem, there is something that was said to be built, and it's 4 square by 4 square. Same height, same width, same length. Don't you see that that's the same exact thing going on here? Because it's an octahedron. I didn't, what I'm showing y'all, bro, and that's why I did that. It's not to show that, hey, I got this Jesus complex. I see myself above other people. I'm showing y'all stuff that I can't even control. This is not synchronicity, bro. This is not a synchronicity. This is science. I've shown y'all where this is backed by physics, 45 degrees on several different occasions. The inverse square law, that's one. The odd number rule, which both of those I showed through my work are intertangled. Then you have projectile motion, which is exactly what you're looking at here. As far as energy, projectile motion. Creation, projectile motion. They say that Angkor Wat was said to mean or symbolize Mount Meru. Okay. They wonder from that point, okay, where is Mount Meru at? Some people say that Mount Meru is some mountain with that starts with an S that's in India. And then you have these others who say that it's the North Pole. Well, I just showed y'all the Mercator map of the North Pole. And it looks exactly like the center of my work right here in front of your face. It's literally right there. I told y'all that every color that I have is the color that it is for a reason. Water. Water. See this walkway, these black, a lot of y'all probably look at the why I got gaps in you. Why do you have gaps in your work? Why does it have gaps? If you have questions, you just ask it. It doesn't mean that something is valid, just invalid just because you don't comprehend it and you didn't create it. Ask questions if you don't comprehend. At the end of the day, the gaps within my work are actually numbers themselves too. Yeah. That's the center of the magnetism. Okay? Those are numbers themselves too. And what numbers are they? They're the Masonic staircase, if you want to call it that. But that's the walkway, the DNA, just like you saw my Mother Herb diagram with the center. 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. That's what those black things are. 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. All right. Now, to elaborate and show even more further details as far as the architectural creation of this monument / temple called Angkor Wat, I zoomed in. I saw zoomed in pictures of it and I snapshotted it, screenshotted it. One thing that would help also confirm, besides what I've already shown as far as confirmation, is if I saw this same type of fractal geometry upon zooming in. Okay? Upon zooming in. If I saw the stair-step 45-degree type of geometry that I've created. I'm not saying I'm the first person to create the stair-step, the Chicana. There's crosses that have been around since ancient. That's clear. I'm talking about 4.5. That number, nobody else on earth, 4.5, 45 degrees. You have not heard any soul on earth emphasizing it as far as cosmology, as far as numerology, mathematics. Nobody, no scientists, no geologists. That's a heck of a message, and it's divine. And it's actually, once you look into Revelations, look into what Revelations means. Look into what the word revelation means. Reveal. I literally revealed something that the world did not know. And guess what book New Jerusalem is mentioned in? It's not the only book, but one of the main ones is Revelation. And what time do you hear that they saying that we are living in? Man, I'm not up here preaching. I'm showing y'all what I'm doing. I'm literally doing this from the kindness of my heart. Doing this for humanity, for the betterment. I have always had it in my heart to live for the next generations to come. I have always said that out loud among myself, that I want to do whatever I can for the next generations to come. I want to put knowledge in stone so that the next generations can have that knowledge, because niggas' words ain't going to be enough. Y'all ain't putting the right words in rap songs. Y'all want to rap about stuff that make people entertain. Y'all not really about educating people. Listen, we don't have time to waste. And that's why I act like I act, bruh. Yeah, it's good to laugh sometimes, but men, look, man. And that's why I say what I say, bruh. Ain't nobody really fighting for the ancestors like I am. And I'm not doing that, saying that just to discredit nobody. I'm saying that based off of realization, man. The ancestors would not be joking around. If you want to really say in tune with the ancestors, think about or ask your favorite teacher when was the last time they sat down and meditated. I don't want to hear because they'll love to make up excuses. I mean, when you smart like that, one of the great things you can do is make up excuses about stuff. You know how to weave out of anything. But in reality, I don't want to hear some made up excuse, because yes, sleep is a form of meditation. I'm talking about really sitting down, thinking about your actions, thinking and putting yourself in the present time and thinking about what you really need to be doing. Stopping yourself, because really the answer to a lot of stuff, how you find your answers, is making yourself stillness, man. Stopping, stillness. We be so caught up in everyday life, caught up in debate. You can tell whether somebody people caught up in debating more than anything. It's not time for us to be debating like that. We're supposed to be building, if anything, coming up with solutions. but y'all want to be entertained. And then y'all wonder why I'm saying what I'm saying. I got a message like no other, bro. I'm trying to wake it. Y'all think y'all woke. Y'all not woke, bro. Don't you realize that these people do you see how people hit their ass as soon as the lights went out for Texas? People forget, and like I say, with tragic situations, then that's when people want to wake up. Don't you remember how it was when the lights went out for Texas? And that was just Texas. Imagine a whole United States, dude. And you silly if you think that can't ever happen. They control your food, they control your lights, they control everything. You ain't in control of shit, especially if you working for somebody. Especially if you working for somebody. And some of y'all will sit up and judge me just because I ain't working no job. Think and look at me lower and less because I ain't working no job. When I'm doing one of the greatest things, dude, that's why I said if I died today, do y'all not realize that I've given y'all, just because you in denial doesn't discredit me. Because like I told y'all, I'm not doing what I'm doing just to live out anything that's in no Bible. Because quite frankly, I ain't read the whole Bible. And that should speak enough to people like that. I ain't even read the whole Bible. I'm real like that. So for me to be fulfilling stuff, playing part in something that is written down that people is even calling fake, and the same stuff that they even talking about as far as cosmology that they saying, they'll say the cosmology real. You get to talking about cosmology, flat earth cosmology, anything flat earth, you saying the earth flat, they're going to agree with it. Even the Bible that talk about the earth being flat, of course they agree with that. But I'm literally walking life, bro. I'm the cornerstone that the builders rejected, literally. That's all y'all do is ignore, reject me. And you don't like when I call it out. Y'all call it bitching. And y'all, probably some of y'all under your breath call it bitching. I'm calling out the obvious and what needs to come. You doing it. So why don't I have the right to call it out? It ain't about attention. It ain't about viewership. I don't ask y'all for money, donations. And y'all turn around and look at me like I'm mooching. Y'all want to look at me and be ignorant to me when I'm doing the greatest. I'm not even trying to put myself up there above nobody, bro. I'm doing the greatest work that can be done right now. I'm not even lying to y'all. I'm lost for words almost. Like, anyway, proceeding to this ancient architecture. Upon zooming in, I said to myself, if I could see any remnants of a stair-step type of thing going on, and I don't know how well this can be seen, and I don't even know if this is the correct picture or not, because I'm looking for it. I think on my phone it might be clearer or something like that. But if you can see, it's a, no, I need a better picture, man. I do. I need a better picture. I ain't gonna lie. Let me escape out of this one. See if this one is better. It can't be any better. I mean, you can see it right here with this one as well. Right here, it's really close. I mean, I just wanted to see it from the sky view because that's where my view is from with my work. And as far as the architecture of Angkor Wat, it's not meant to look blocked just like mine. These were very when you become an artist and everything, you ain't gonna make something just exactly like the grid is. Anybody can make squares and put stuff on the square with the grid. Once you've mastered that, you get creative. That's part of the chakras and everything too, being creative. And this man went through and he showed where every inch nearly of Angkor Wat is detailed with carving. And it's almost inhumane. I don't care what anybody say. It's a lot of stuff on this earth that humans ain't got no, bro. It's beyond human capability. You can say you don't believe in aliens and all of that stuff as much as you want. Well, if you believe in the flat ass earth that's infinite and everything, then that means the sky infinite and the land infinite. You's a silly dude if you think that it ain't any beings that's out there in those so-called lands that you claiming is even real. You crazy if you think it ain't nobody out there, and especially if you think that we the smartest ones. Humans are very egotistical and see themselves above everything. And that's part of why where we at now. This is not a good, I think it was clear on my phone or something, man. But anyway, I mean, I still got confirmation and everything that I could show. Like, I'm just going to have to show a different angle because this ain't coming out right. But if you think about the fact of the Nazca lines with those circles in the center, this is actually the center of the temple right here. Okay, I'm going to show this right here first. This is the architecture from a 45-degree angle on the ground. Well, it ain't a 45-degree angle. I was thinking from a corner. I'll just say that because 45 degrees would be directly right here. But anyway, if you could pay attention to this and imagine this being, because it is based on the circle/square, you could see that this right here, which is what I was trying to show, they have this stair-step actual thing going on right there. The exact type of geometry. But they added onto it. They decked it out with details and statues and inscriptions, carvings that endless. I mean, it's crazy. It took some extreme talent to do that. So that's just showing that right there. But the center that the man mentioned is right here. And what he mentioned, as far as which no one else has mentioned ever that I've heard, as far as Angkor Wat, this center space, there's a hole at the top of Angkor Wat. Just like at the earth, there will be a hole. Just like in your eye, you have a hole called a pupil. Okay, hole, hollow. Hollow actually means core. Core actually means hollow. The heart. The heart of something. And I'm going to get into the 108 like I mentioned at the beginning, because it's so much confirmation. It's right in front of people's face. And I ain't even lying. And it takes somebody really egotistical and have hate in their heart to not even comprehend what I'm saying. This right here, you can see it. Look here. You got 1, 2, 3. Mind you, this is the center, and y'all can go watch this yourselves. Go watch all this brother's videos on Angkor Wat yourselves. Okay, this man is from the land. This is the closest that you're gonna get besides you going to the land yourself, which you can do if you got the money. If you got a problem with hearing about somebody who is from the land, a native from the land, just like y'all will listen to native ancestors, shamans, and everything else, this guy is highly respectable as far as his work once I looked into it. This is the center right here. Look familiar? That's the Chicana. That's just like the Chicana. And that's actually in the center of the Nazca Sun Star. The dimensions are not exactly the same, but this right here, when I say dimensions, I mean the measurements, okay? Because this right here is a little longer, but I can show y'all where these stair steps and this whole center thing, this centerpiece that you see right here is the sun star. And what they said, man, I be trying not to miss stuff. The center right here, they said it was a box right here that was in the center. They said that people stole this box. This is 90 feet down. That's the number 9 again. And they said within this box, there was at another temple called Angkor Thom, Thom. There was quartz crystals, copper, and one other mention was in there. But basically, that's something that helps create energy. Hold on. Ouch. Ouch. So sick of having to see. I gotta quit stressing, man. I gotta quit fucking stressing. But anyway, man, damn, I thought I had my mic fucking muted. Shit. Anyway, man, obsolete. Fuck on. Anyway, this right here, Sun Star. This is just like the Sun Star in Nazca, and I can pull that up. I can pull that up and show that in just a second, and that's amazing to me. Now, as far as the number 108, I gotta pull up my eye real quick. And I see when people look at this, y'all probably have thought, oh, he must want to be Illuminati. He trying to be Illuminati. No, I'm not doing that. I is the 9th letter. Okay, that's what everybody see with. That's one of your most important senses. Of course, all of your senses are important, but your eyes is important. I ain't do this to show no Illuminati homage, nothing. I'm not with that shit. Man, I got that. I'm showing them that I know the truth, I know stuff that they don't know. Literally, that's what I'm showing them. This ain't nothing to show that I'm against y'all or not with the people or that I turn on the people or nothing like that. That's what I'm saying. You know, if anything, that's why I ain't even trying to equate myself to no Jesus or nothing, man. But, you know, that's what I'm saying. People ain't going to believe what I'm saying anyway when I say that I do what I do for the people. It's like it just go in one ear and out the other. But anyway, everything is color coded on my work, and I said what I said in the past for a reason. These Nazca, this is the Sun Star right here. This is 4 and 5, and these dots. Nobody else, no other depiction has been able to explain these dots. Every last dot, or the circles that are outside of the Sun Star cross, which is why I'm building what I'm building, because it's revealing the information about it, and I can't even figure that out until I'm done. You see these ancient Indian ancestors, they put in work, bro. They worked hard. And people appreciate their work. They see their carvings and stuff like that and see how great the carvings is. They put in, that took some time, man. However they did it. Beyond that, look at the Nazca lines. They out there in the heat, in the middle of the desert. You think that them and for people to even question that this shit is a hoax? No, man. No, you got to really think and put yourself in that perspective. It's not for tourism. That's a place where you can't have people just go over there and walk on the land. It'll destroy the lines. You can't even walk on the land, and you have to view it from the air. You think they're going to have hundreds of planes every day? You know how much gas it takes to fly a plane around? Of course, they have to have people pay for that, but they fly this small ass plane across the Nazca plain. It's not for tourism, bruh. This right here, what I'm telling y'all, bruh. Look, how would you identify a so-called Messiah? Because that's the thing. When people talk about a Messiah, you have to be able to identify this so-said person. How would you be able to identify it? I'm telling y'all, one way is through a divine symbol. I could not, and it's certain to a degree. Man, my grandma done watched me build everything that I'm building from the day I made the first discovery. From the day I was on the panel and drew out 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it started out just with numbers. No 45, no grid, nothing. And it been 2 years. Y'all wonder why people can't debate my work? Like nobody can debate my, man. But these numbers are going to the green, as you can see. If you count this, imagine. Why is that colored like, oh, I'm tripping. Okay, it's turned the wrong way. Okay, so right here, of course, is 0, 1, 2. And then you will have 1 right there. That's 1. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over here on this side, on the mirroring side, you count from right here is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Green is 8. 8. I could have just told y'all that based on the color code itself, because 1 and 8 is green. But I just did that to show people what number is each. That's 1 right there, and then you got 8 right here. Over here, as it spins, you'll have 1 right there, 8 on the other side. Everything right there that is pointed to from the center is pointing to 1 and 8. 1 and 8, 1 and 8, and 1 and 8. That's making 36 as well right there. I'm really not just definitive on just saying that right now because I'm figuring out what that means. That's pointing, that's communicating something within itself right there. And as well, if you think about the square and compasses, the square at the bottom of the square and compasses is a square, just like you see right here. And the legs of the compass, see, this is spinning. I'm showing y'all a spinning motion right here. This is why I told you the Freemasons ain't on the Nazca lines. They don't know this. They don't know this, but they got all of this Jesus symbolism. They got symbolism where they point swords to the center in their rituals, pointing swords to the center of a candidate. Look very much similar to this. This is, man, and the legs I was saying cross over the square, just like you see this pointed to this dot. When I place a compass and square over, superimpose it over my work, guess what numbers it landed on? The legs of the compass, when they open to the certain degree that these Masons know that they, because they got certain degrees that they open the square and compasses to. In Canada, they open the square and compasses to 45 degrees for whatever reason. Not 45 degrees, but a 90-degree angle. I've told y'all countless times, and a 90-degree angle makes 45-degree counter space. This right here is 1 and 8. And on my work, it literally lines up to 1 and 8. So 18. Y'all have also said that the square and compass is a sex symbol. A lot of people have said that. I'm not going against that. If anything, I'm kind of supporting 1 and 8. If you think about what that is, just think about that enough. What age is people mostly considered legal to have sex? 18. Well, 16 in most states. But if we just gonna say, for the righteous, we have 18. 1 and 8. Look at the characters, the symbology. 1 and 8. You got titties or the round. You got the phallus, which is the 1, and you have the 8, which is the lips, it's everything right there. The circle, the feminine, okay? The male and the feminine, period. I'll just let that end there. Okay. That's just a random thought that I thought about in the past. But I'm gonna have to pull up this Nazca thing. And this is Martin Kent. I think that brother passed away too. So shout out to him. It's sad, and people say that he passed away due to his they feel like he passed away. It was a setup, because he was a flat earther and things like that. And I just dawned on myself, like if people view that with him, I can't help but wonder how people would act if I died. After all of this work I done did, people will start to show love after. And people will take it like you just giving a sad speech just to get some, bro. If y'all only understood what I done been through, man, and how hard I truly work. And if y'all only understood how real this is, and it's just like lightning. And that's what I'm putting in my work too. Thunder and lightning. Y'all gonna catch on and be the thunder after. I'm the lightning. Light travels faster than sound. Where I'm at, I'm telling y'all, you can't escape it, and you ain't gonna be able to. You're gonna catch on later. You're gonna catch on later. I'm moving too fast and I'm ahead of my time, but I don't put myself above anybody else. But if you think about this right here, I've said as well that the earth may be a pyramid. I've been thinking about the land, but what I do know, I'm not thinking that this concept is necessarily it. I'm not agreeing with this 100%. I'm not disagreeing with it at all either, because the thing is, I don't know. I ain't been out to these lands. I don't know if those lands are real. In my opinion, the maps that do show the outer lands, anybody could just draw up some lands that is shaped and say that they're out there. And if you ain't gonna go out there, which they ain't letting, you'll never know. So I can't confirm it, but it is based on evidence of facts as far as realization of what this, and it's very it's very on point. I'll and that's the reason why I pulled it up. But as far as the pyramid Earth, I will say theory, because I'm not confirmed on that. I'm doing the work literally. I have to draw it out for people to come. It's really partially drawn out as far as my mother herb diagram. But the land's all for definitive fact. I'm telling people. Every land that we're on has a peak. That's called a mountain. What do pyramids look like? Mountains of stone. There's a foundation, and my work is the order of the elements. On the underworld behalf, you have 1 and 8, which are the land. That's the land under. That's the land down under. That's what's the foundation of the waters itself, is what I'm showing. It's the order of the elements. Air is the yellow, 2 and 7. The air is underneath that land because of the hollow earth thing that people is talking about. Caverns is what you witness. Okay. And heat, you gotta, I'm not trying to go too over the place because I need to go back to the mountains aspect. The mountain, every mountain has a peak. That's like the capstone of the pyramid. And all of these lands that we're on go down into that water and meet at one land. And that's the 1 and the 8 that I'm showing. Number 1, the one land, the horizon, or in other, like ancient Egyptian, Nut and Geb, land on the ground. Okay. You can see that all right here. Now, as far as these ice rings, the ice wall, I've said myself, we can't prove an ice wall. I don't necessarily believe in a ice wall completely. Until somebody can show the facts of it. What they have shown, there's something called ice shells, and ain't nobody filmed the whole circle of the earth to show that it's, that this ice wall is a 24-hour thing. But this pyramid thing that I'm talking about, the land's rising. See, the land is like a plant. What caused this land? They tell us it was earthquakes and all of this stuff that caused the land to rise up out of the water. What if the sun and moon, being that the earth is magnetic and they got a magnetic field, what's generating that? The sun and the moon. What if the earth is growing up? I mean, the earth was grown is what I'm getting at. Think about somatics. I got a video that I'm going to show as well, not in this video, but I was in the middle of making a video, and it was somatics from a whole different view. I mean, and it was like some alien type of stuff. It kind of even creeped me out a little bit. It was weird, because we usually see the grid thing with the salt, that's the thing with the patterns. But this right here, I was like, man, that's almost like creating life. It was crazy to me. But anyway, I'm gonna go to the Nazca thing and show that in relation to going back to this center of this, just to flash that again so that people can see that, so that you can see the geometry of this right here. Remember the number 3 corners. You also remember the number 12. So 3 times 4, that's 12. That's the number 12. I've also said in the past that the number 12 is a very mysterious number. It's input. That's actually a Freemasons know about that. Now that's something they know about. I don't. The number 12. Come on, Nazca Sun Star, make a brother lucky to find you quickly. Yeah, once I and oh yeah, this that center of the Angkor Wat temple that I just showed that man mentioned that quartz was in the center of in this box. Um, it's a hole, and they said at noon the sun was meant to it shines through. It still does to this day, of course. The sun shines through the center at noon. The Nazca sun is called a sun star. The weirdest, and what I'm refraining from mentioning as well, is that video that showed that the Nazca lines is on the complete opposite side of the earth from the on the exact, it's the antipode, something called the antipode. What that is when it's basically the diameter of the earth. If the earth is if the earth were or is a so-called globe, because that's why I told y'all I'm doing the work and figuring it out. Okay. But that's why I'm saying right now, who's winning? Flat Earth is winning. But both of them got their holes and stuff that I question, because I'm a very smart and wise individual, and I don't just rock with something just because somebody else even got they good at their words and making stuff sound good and making other people think no other way. Mind manipulating, making people think no other way. I think outside of the box. And it's a trip to me to see that those Nazca lines line up at the exact opposite of the said Angkor Wat temple. And then this geometry coming at all of these similar, the 108, I just showed the 108, 4 and 5, that the Angkor Wat, and I didn't even realize that's simple. That is simple. Foundation, and then the 5 in the center. And even they look like fire. When you look at the depictions of, the domes themselves in detail up close, you can see like flames on them. Now, he also mentioned what within that video? The matrix, the circles in the matrix, right? This whole Nazca Sun Star, it got different names. One of it is the Nazca Sun Star. And here's another name. I think I might have showed this in the past, but at least it is what I'm looking for. And I can show y'all that shape of the sun star. They call this the sun star and cross. Some people call it the Nazca Matrix. And once this shows, it'll say Nazca Matrix. Shout out to Geometric Models on Instagram for posting this last year. I done did so much work, bro. It's like I'm so much work. I forget. Goodness, man. So they outline. You can see the shape right there. He said somebody must have to gym. I know they was out there for a long time. That's what I could tell people. They had the drawing stuff out on paper first, because it got to be on a smaller scale first. So that's why I'm saying, if anything, I'm somebody from the past. To be able to construct this and do this like this and ain't and I literally don't talk to anybody. I'm so in tune with self, and then had so much time to myself. It ain't even funny to where it is funny. But for the sake of it, let's count this. 1, 2, 3. That's 3. 1, 2. Because look at the outermost circle. Think about Martin Kinney's map that you just saw. Okay? Think about the Mercator North Pole that I just showed you. Okay? Think about 108 Lingams that the man just mentioned. That all of these is pointing towards. Think about the fact he's mentioning energy. The energy grid. Showed the energy grid. Evidence of it. On a grid at that. On a square grid. Think about how I just overlaid my stuff right on top of it. And it come out to be just like it. The only part that was off in reality was the other side where that's that mysterious 12. Ain't nobody helping me out on that. I'm going to figure that out eventually. You best believe it's going to come to. Because I know about the number 12. It's nothing but 9 plus that 3. And when you also do the zodiacs and everything in the sky, which this is also called a sun star, the star, Estrella, Nazca Estrella is another name. Estrella translated to star. We're getting caught. We're getting lost, golly, because man, I'm going at man. Golly, I was about to say something important. Straight star. Golly, I guess it'll come back to me. But anyway, right, 9, and then I said plus 3, 12. Yeah, the stars up there in the sky, the constellations. I realized that whenever you take a circle and divide it into 8 sections, and then you overlay a 12 divided circle into congruent angles, all of them into congruent angles. I mean, the 12 and the, because that 8 section, that's really going back to the 9. That's what it's really going back to, is that number 9, because that's center point. The 12s, the number 12, it will have to go back to 13 because of that center point itself. So that's part of the hidden mystery behind 12, is that number 13. And you can see 13 on the back of the dollar bill, 13 with the pyramid on there. It's really mysterious. The numbers is so important. It's one of the most, if not the most important. I say one of, if not the most, but in my heart and based on the facts and what my walk of life and everything, what I've experienced, because experience is the greatest teacher. Man, look, numbers is the greatest guide as far as the truth, besides God. And I know that a lot of y'all don't believe in God, and y'all say, man, y'all have it, bro. I'm done fighting with that, bro. And I don't care about y'all judging me, man. All I know is, man, at this point, bro, it's a power beyond me. And I got no problem with submitting to that. People down here on earth want to argue male and female, man. What I see and what I've shown is sun and moon, man. 2 gods, for whatever you want to call it. They ain't got to be one. But from everything I see, it's been a male and a female created. So it's a God male and a God female for all I care. And I ain't going to make up no names to add to them. I ain't throwing nothing on it. Just feel like the female has been left out for whatever reason. And other brothers have done an excellent job, I will say, on pointing that out. So at the end of the day, when you lay the number 12 grid of a, not grid, but spokes of a circle congruent over the 8 spoke circle, basically the 8 spoke circle, the 45 degrees, it goes right into the center. I'll just show the evidence of that, because talking about some things, people, it's hard for some people to visualize it. I comprehend that. There's the 5. Thank you. Come on, man. That's bullshit. That's some bullshit right there, man. I just clicked on it. You gonna do that to me? Well, thanks for showing it. See, everything happening for a reason. It's taking control, showing that. So you can see that again. That's the exact. So that's the center of it. Now, I might be helping myself answer a question, because it's something that Angkor Wat, as far as the architecture, how this is set up, it can help me answer the questions about these other 2 circles that's outside of this sun star, because it's 2 circles that look like a radar. I mentioned that in the past. It's 2 circles that look like a radar outside of the sun star. And I'm pretty sure that Angkor Wat Temple could help me figure that out if I study it a lot more. This is all based on my own work, and that stuff blows my mind. I ain't gonna lie. It's very amazing, man. Very, very amazing. That 5-point star, I hope it pops up in due time. And don't stall it, brother. Now think about the 4.5 conjunction, the Great Conjunction. It's been about a year since it. A nigga tried to finish his work within a year. I hit the lodge and show them what I got to show them and everything. Let them know what's up. Had this meeting with them. No, it's not to become a Freemason, man. It's not. This great pyramid is going to be built here. You can call it New Jerusalem or whatever you want. All I know is I ain't trying to go against the Bible. And it says that God is the architect of the New Jerusalem, the builder of the New Jerusalem. All I know is I hadn't ever read the Bible fully. Some of this stuff is just now coming to me. And for me to be carrying out something based on my own gnosis before I even know something about that, that's proven to me something, because I'm not copying nothing. I'm not going to the Bible and saying, okay, let me try to draw out something like the New Jerusalem. That ain't never, if anything, I'm just now finding out about a New Jerusalem. That they say is supposed to be relative to where I'm from. Independence, Missouri. I'm from Arkansas, the capital of Arkansas. Dude, quit playing with me. The capital of Arkansas, the Little Rock. The Little Rock. See, the Little Rock from the sky, that's what the Angkor Wat temple is. That's what the pyramids is. They from the sky, from the eye in the sky, they're a Little Rock. Think about Memphis, Mizraim. Freemasonry. Memphis. We right by Memphis. The pyramid that's in Memphis, people want to consider that as a pyramid. That's steel. It's made of steel and glass. You know, the architect did a great job setting it up to a degree, but you know, I ain't down in his work, but all I'm saying is that ain't no real pyramid. It ain't no real pyramids on this land. And the closest it is to it is the Indian ancestors that created mounds. Golly. What's going on here? All right. Refresh time. I guess I'll check the comments till then, because it's paused. All right. Babylon symbolism. We live in a world of opposite. Know yours. And you will be a whole. Adrian Kenyon. Shout out to you. Todd Aoki. I feel you. True power is inspiring others to be more. God is supreme. Shout out to you. Big facts. Yes, yes, yes. Fire. Yes, indeed, brother. You've been repping 45 for years. Literally, you are 45. 100%. What if ley lines are the vertices of our geometric earth? That's it. Pretty much, yes, sir. Right on point. Vortex. Bring that science. Islam, brother. One. Yep. A lot of 8-point star is shown within symbolism, is shown within Islam culture. Knowledge is information. Wisdom is knowing what to do with it. That's right on. Smart is measured in degrees of ignorance. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Right on. Come on, thing. Thanks. This is one last thing that I will show, because I'm not going to try to stretch this presentation out at all, but this is the Great Pyramid of America. Not Great Pyramid of America. This is the Great Pyramid. And one realization that I had, I superimposed the architectural lineup, the degree lineup, the degree angle of inclination of the Great Pyramid over. I superimposed it over the Angkor Wat temple and its measurements, and I realized something that stood out to me. And it, to be real, that is a bingo. It helps me also with the number 12 when I think about it. See, this right here is the south, that's the north, but that's the center of Angkor Wat right there. That is the center of Angkor Wat right there. I put the pyramid over it, and guess what? It comes out to be an exact angle, 51 degrees and 0.50. From this corner right here to this right here, and to this corner right here to this right here. Up here, like I had mentioned, that's 45 degrees. All right. In reality, north is this way. So I could have flipped it And the chambers is really supposed to be going this way, but everything is symmetrical. So what you see on this side would be on this side either way it go. But that's pretty amazing for them to have the exact same measurements from corner to corner. That's the corner right there, and that's the corner right there to the very center, based all on the square. Did you or anyone know that the angle of inclination of the Great Pyramid of Giza 100% matches the angle on the west side of Angkor Wat? Someone may have pointed this out, but I'm telling you, I haven't seen it realized anywhere. I'm not going to say I'm the first to do / realize this, like my own work, in which I know I am, because I know people make these type of discoveries all the time. That's right. People superimpose stuff over stuff all the time and make discoveries. So, you know, that's something that happens all the time. So, you know, I might be the first to point that out, and I may not be, but I know that I did not find it on the internet. And it does have extreme relevance, because what I'm doing is tying everything around the earth up. That's the Great Pyramid, that's the Nazca lines, that's Angkor Wat. That's almost like, and what would be on the other side? Because that right there, Nazca to from Nazca to Angkor Wat, like I said, that would be the antipode halfway around. Great Pyramids, that'd be like the half, that's the quarter way. That's right in between the two. That's like halfway in between the two. And what would be on the other side of the Great Pyramid? I'm gonna look at the world map and figure that out. I'm pretty sure it's a monument, some type of significant monument right on the opposite side of the Great Pyramid. It only makes sense. And once I figure that out, if it have any ties to the Nazca, I'm gonna know something. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna know something at that point. But this has been your presentation from me for today. I will be, you know, updating y'all on everything that I figure out, man. I enjoy doing this. I do this for the betterment of humanity. And I move out of righteousness, man. Like Pharaoh say, I watch dudes sometimes. I just subscribe to his channel here recently again. Pro-righteousness, that's PR. I ain't never said I'm perfect, but I'm always trying to perfect myself, man. I just don't like to blast myself and put myself above anybody else. But whenever I hear other people do that, and I know that they saying something because of me, I got to show out a little bit. That's what I do. I got to show out a little bit and put people in their place, whether they want to or not. Whether they want to accept it or not. You ain't the only nigga doing something. And matter of fact, I can show you that I can do it greater than you, and that you don't know everything. It's not a diss. I'd rather be working with brothers, but brothers want to waste time. And I'm not here to waste time. I'm showing that I'm working. I ain't just up here talking. I know that they'll say talking is doing something. Believe me, brother. People gonna sit up and say that for 30 years. People can, if that's the case, let people just talk 100 more years and see where the fuck y'all end up. If talking is doing something, y'all better get real and quit, man. And I'm telling you, I'm not just saying that. I mean that. That's real talk. That's real talk. Think about that. Before I go, I'm gonna go ahead and go on that one. Just think about that. That's some real talk for you. If we talk for 30 more years, 100 more years, 30 more years, 45 more years, you imagine where we're gonna end up. Imagine where we'll be, either in the same spot. It's only one or two places in the same spot that we talking about where we at now and talking about we want to change now. Or we gonna end up in the worst spot. Period, point blank, man. And I'm gonna go ahead and terminate this one here, man, and get on out of here. Read any new comments out of respects. and I'll be out. Thank you for all you do. I strongly appreciate that, man. That's all I ask for, bro. I don't ask for no money from you. Nothing but at the most, golly, don't do that. Yeah. At the most, the like button, and that's it. Period. Everything else I handle myself as far as me being a human being and a man with my work, bro. I'll be taken care of, compensated greatly, for my work. If anything, I plan on helping other people when I get money. That's what I plan on doing, is giving back. No armchair quarterbacks. Get in the game. Right on, bro. Right on, man. Right on, bro. We come here to be put in our place of consciousness, of conscious evolution. Right on. That's right, bro. It's all about learning and growth. I didn't think that this had been an hour and 40 minutes, man. When you really, I don't consider myself teaching, but when you really love doing what you do, I guess time does fly. But I got to get back to work because I'm cutting time off the clock. Y'all stay safe, man. And I wish y'all the greatest with everything it is that y'all do in life. And that's genuine and real. Keep up whatever it is and don't give up. But I got to be out. Peace out.